This video is Linear Equations Part 2, and we're picking up with the slide titled Slope. The slope of a line measures how steep it is. Slope is represented by the letter M. It is defined by the ratio of the change in y values to the change in x values. I'll illustrate that in a moment on a graph. We can write slope as m equals rise over run. That's one of the ways you will see slope written. Rise over run. Slope is also called rate of change. So you'll see that as well. Examples of slope in the real world are the speed of a moving object, your hourly rate of pay, or the rate at which a stock value is changing. So here we have a line, and this line has a slope. And as I said before, the slope is rise over run, and it's defined as the ratio of the change in y values to the change in x values. Now, a ratio is just a fraction. So fraction, just think rise over run, change in y over change in x. Okay, so when we're finding slope, you're going to, the best way to do this is to pick 2 points on the line, and then start at the leftmost point. From there, find out how the y has changed from the first point, the left point, to the right point. How does the y change? Well, the y is the vertical distance, so it changes by 1. It goes up 1. That's your rise. The change in y is 1 because you have to go up 1 space to be even with this point. Now, from here, the ratio is the change in y to the change in x. So how does the x change? So the x changes from the left point to the right point. It's going to move right 1, 2, 3 spaces. That's called our run. So, because slope is the ratio of rise over run, or the change in y to the change in x, the rise or the change in y was 1 over run, which is the change of x, which was 3. So the slope is 1/3 here. 1/3. Now, had we gone from the left to the right point, have we gone down, it would have been a -1 over 3, but we went up first. Again, always, so that you don't get your signs confused, always start from the left and go right. Think about how you read a book. You read from left to right, so we're going to read lines from left to right. So pause the video and you try to find this slope. Okay, hopefully you had a chance to try to find the slope. So we're going to start, there are 2 points on this line. Here's a point, here's a point. Well, there's 2 points labeled. And so to go from the left to the right, the change in y is -2 because we went down, and the change in x looks like 5. So that means the slope is -2/5. -2 over 5 would be -2/5. Now, there are different types of slope. Thinking about the sign, we can have a positive slope. Positive slope, the line goes up from left to right. Again, as I said, we read lines from left to right. So from left to right, we're moving up. That would be a positive slope. The opposite for a line that's going down from left to right, it would be a negative slope. Then we have 2 others. We have a horizontal line. That line has a 0 slope. The slope actually equals 0. And lastly, we have a vertical line which has an undefined slope. If you think of this, the ratio, the change in y to the change in x, the y from, let's say here's a point here, now here's a point here, these 2 points, you don't change the vertical distance, you don't change the y, so that rise would be 0 over whatever the run is. Well, 0 divided by any number is 0. Whereas here, let's say to go from this point to this point, you go up 3. So the rise would be 3, but the run, you don't have to run anywhere. You don't go to the right. So the run would be 0. So 3 over 0 would be undefined. If you enter 3 divided by 0 in your calculator, you're going to get an error because you cannot divide by 0. Next, we're going to talk about intercepts. Intercepts are where the line intersects or crosses the axes. And there are two intercepts that we will be learning about, the x-intercept and the y-intercept. The x-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis. So it's right here. It crosses the x-axis at 3. The y-axis is where the line crosses the y-axis. So it crosses at -4. So there they are again. The x-intercept is the point 30. The y-intercept is the point 0, -4. Notice that the opposite coordinate is 0. For the x-intercept, the y is 0. For the y-intercept, the x is 0. All right, recall y equals 3x plus 1. I believe this was the first equation that we graphed in the part 1 video. Here are the points we found, and here's the graph. This graph looks a little bit nicer than the one I actually drew. So we're going to find the slope of this line. So you can choose any 2 points. You can choose this one and this one, or you can choose this one and this one, or this one and this one, or even this one and this one, or this one and this one. It's up to you. Just choose 2 points. Do the rise over the run and find out what the slope is. Pause the video, and when you unpause it, we'll check it. Okay, so I'm just going to go from this point to this point, and we're going to rise up 1, 2, 3, run 1. So 3 over 1 is 3. But to show you, if I did this next point to the next point, it's going to be the same thing. 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Well, let's see what happens if I choose this bottom point and the third point. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 1, 2. 6 over 2 is also 3. So no matter what you do, you're going to get a slope of 3. Okay. Now we're going to find the y-intercept. So pause the video and locate the y-intercept. That's where it crosses the y-axis. Okay, hopefully you found it. The y-intercept crosses at 0, 1. Right here, 0, 1. So do you see these numbers in the equation? Now the slope was 3. The y-intercept was 0, 1. Take a look at the equation. And we see them. 3 was the slope. 1 was the y-intercept. Remember that M is the letter we use to represent slope. B is the number we use to represent the y-intercept. And that's where we found them in the equation. So the slope was found as the coefficient of x, and the y-intercept was the constant being added. So we have something called slope-intercept form. You'll need to know it's y equals mx plus b. This is good for all linear equations, except for vertical ones that have an undefined slope. But if it has a slope that is defined, y will equal the slope times the x for any point plus the y-intercept. And this works for any point that falls on the line. Y equals mx plus b. All right, now, I told you earlier that there were multiple ways to graph. I think I told you this in the previous video, part 1. So we've learned to graph by finding points on a table. Now we're going to learn to graph by using slope-intercept form. So the first thing you're going to do is, first it needs to be in slope-intercept form. If it's not, you can manipulate the problem, move some things around to put it in slope-intercept form. But once you identify that it is in slope-intercept form, find the slope, the m, that's going to be the coefficient of x, and then find the y-intercept. Once you do that, begin with b. That means plot the y-intercept first. Don't try to do the slope first, do the y-intercept first. Then from the y-intercept point, which you've put a point there, find the next point by following the rise over run pattern from the slope. All right, so let's try one. So we have y equals negative 2x plus 4. So the slope is negative 2. And the y-intercept is 4. So for the 4, that's the point 0, 4. So I know the point 0, 4 is on the graph. And I'm going to begin there. Begin with B. Now from there, I'm going to do the slope. Now the slope, go back over here, the slope, we need to rise over run. It looks like I only have one number, so let's put it over a run. So if there's not a number there in the denominator, put over 1. So negative 2 is the rise, 1 is the run. So we're going to rise negative 2, and we're going to run, we're going to run 1. And we're going to put our point. So we went down, so we started at 4, then we went down 2, right 1. If you want to, you can do more points. You can do this pattern again, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. And then, oops, what happened to our point there? Disappeared. Then once you have your points, now, just technically, if you have down 2, right 1, you can also do the opposite of that. Instead of down 2, right 1, you can go, oops, I erased it again. You can go up 2 and left 1 to find points. All right, and then I keep making that one disappear. So then we'll draw our line. Again, this is better with a straight edge, but there you go. And I'm not sure why that first point kept wanting to disappear on us. But there we go. So start at the y-intercept. From the y-intercept, do the slope. And I always do the rise first. I let the sign tell me whether to rise up or rise down, and then I always run to the right for the first set of points that I do. All right, pause the video and you try 2/3 x minus 2. Okay, here we have, oops, went back too far. Here we have a slope. It's not working. Trying this again, technical difficulties. We have a slope of 2/3. That's our rise over our run. And our B, our y-intercept, is negative 2 because you're subtracting 2. So that's the point 0, negative 2. So I'm going to locate 0, negative 2 on the graph and put a point. From there, I'm going to do the slope. I'm going to rise 2, that's a positive, and I'm going to run 3. So from here, I'm going to rise 2, and I'm going to run 3. And then I'm going to rise 2, run 3. I'm out of space, but it would be about right there. The other thing I can do is I could go back to the negative 2 y-intercept, and I can do the opposite, exact opposite. Instead of rising 2 and running 3, I can rise down 2 and go to the left 3. Just if you are interested in more points. And then again, connect. And again, for some reason my some of my points are disappearing, so I think it was supposed to go through right here, but again, I don't have a ruler, so anyway, I'm going to pause the video here, and we're going to pick up with interpreting a linear equation.